Good. Oh, good. Well, good afternoon. Thank you, Magnus. Thank you, Mobile Institute. Thank you to the tech guys over there, keeping everything going and running smoothly. My name is Alan Smith, and I'm Managing Director for DMI in the Nordics. And in my role, I'm responsible for DMI's growth and innovation strategy in this part of the world. And I work extensively with leading edge technologies and how all kinds of different companies can use these technologies to transform their business. Here's the clicker. So I'm here today to talk about how the smartphone war has challenged us at DMI in creating new business opportunities and customer experiences in a computing environment that's so radically different than the one that we've grown up with. So cheap sensors, processing, connectivity, these are enabling all kinds of things to be connected and share data in ways that have never been possible. And so this smartphone war has ostensibly driven down the cost of being innovative. It's also driven down the cost of being disruptive. All of us who have been along for this ride for the last 30 years of digital transformation have gotten so used to the pull mode of operation that it's practically second nature. So the way this works, you click on a link, you enter a URL, you tap on an icon, and then the computer goes and fetches the information, brings it back, and then displays it for you. And this synchronous chain of computing is everywhere, from ATMs to cars to appliances to, of course, computers, the web, and our smartphones. But this is all changing with what we call IoT. In this IoT computing era, we're transitioning to a push model. And so just the right information will be pushed to me based on context. And that context could be things such as location and time. It could also be tasks that I'm performing at that moment, or it could be predictive based on an understanding of my calendar and weather, for example. So this is the environment that we operate in, but not just us. It's, like I say, lots of these companies. And so one company I want to talk about today, they're a client of ours. They're called Bombardier. They make trains. And over the past year, we've been helping them figure out how their business changes when it starts moving to this push model. And so we framed this as reinventing rail travel for the 21st century. We've been helping them redesign the daily commuter experience around the central idea of transitioning from a pull model to a push model, and to create new mobile services that allow millions of commuters in the UK to take control of their daily rail experience. So train travel, it can take a lot of effort. It can also be a bit uncertain. Of course, not in Sweden, because the trains always operate exactly on time and never break. So a bad customer experience plus the growing number of alternative options out there is threatening the appeal of rail travel, and thus is threatening ultimately their business. The challenge for train operators is how to mix the speed and adaptability of digital services with the stability and predictability of well-engineered trains. Now, Bombardier is in a unique position to really solve this problem and drive great innovation throughout this whole industry. So in our solution space, passengers have greater situational awareness, and the train operators have a greater ability to make commuting easier for these passengers. All the data underpinning this is a valuable business asset for Bombardier that they can exploit without necessarily upsetting the sort of social contract you have with passengers or the sort of legal agreements and compliance issues that you have with their customers. So our model looks like this. We leverage data to home in on real customer behavior. And then on top of that data, we build APIs to make that data usable. And these APIs act as bridges to strengthen their existing partnerships and build new ones. So embedded in these APIs, for example, are not just technical protocols, but they're also protocols around what are the commercial agreements that we need to have in place with one another. We open up the design of new services using those APIs to external parties, and this allows Bombardier to act as a leader in the industry and also drive change by enabling an ecosystem of all these different people who might have all kinds of cool ideas that they would never think of. We are helping them formulate what this API strategy is, and so some of these services are free and they're open and they're public. Some of them are free, but they're only available to certain partners, while others are premium and require some sort of payment to take place. So as we clarify the passengers and operators service experience, our teams are continuously feeding this into the API and data requirements. And in this way, we are building our understanding by starting with the human first and working backwards to the technology. And this knowledge is, of course, being used by engineering and design and their product teams, but it's also being used by their business in really new and challenging ways. So the results thus far are quite good. The development cycles for trains are quite long. It can take many years to go from kind of start until you have a train that's out on the market. However, we're entering an important milestone this summer where we'll have a full technical test utilizing beacons, various sensors in and around the seats, an upgraded air interface to the internet, as well as a mobile application and the operator dashboard. But beyond this technical demonstration, we're continuously testing with real users to build knowledge and to course correct around what is the service experience and what is the business proposition around this as well. So this project is also facilitating a lot of internal innovation around their internal innovation program. And to give you a sense for what this passenger experience is like, we have a video. This project is IoT at scale, industrialized, and also really about impacting people with helping them solve real problems. I'm Alan Smith. I'm from DMI. Thank you.
Thank you, Alan. Thank you.